Well, hello again, YouTubers. Back here with another old man sneaker video, my inconsistent channel. And this one's reasonably interesting because I have, rather than just do the new Yeezy 350s, I thought I'd do a comparison against the new one, which I think is called, check it again, it's the True Form, that's right. This is the True Form versus my good old Belugas. Now, I've got them here, so you can see them. So I've got these Belugas, which I actually bought off Adidas. So this was the days when you could actually go to the Adidas site and you could be fairly lucky enough to get a pair. I actually ended up with two pairs. I got one from Adidas and one from Yeezy Supply. And I flipped the Yeezy Supply ones on eBay for a reasonable amount of money. These ones don't sell for too much nowadays, around about 400 quid, I guess. But I like them so much, I decided to keep them, and they are super comfy on. And I was lucky enough to put in for the Sneakers and Stuff raffle, and just happened to win a pair of the new True Forms, which I have here. So I wanted to do a review between the two. I was thinking of flipping these, so I got them and I thought, oh, that's cool, I've won them, I might flip them. And then I tried them on last week and I was like, I think I might keep these. They're much nicer than I thought they were going to be. So we know the Belugas. The Belugas are a reasonably old sneaker now. I'm just making sure I get them in focus there. And some of the differences and similarities are very, very obvious. You can see that the Belugas are a very darker grey, and there's a sort of stripe, like a dark black even, or a dark grey stripe running through. No such thing on these ones. These are a pure grey, a very sort of clay coloured grey. There is, I don't know if you can see it, if I get right close, there is sort of like a very pale green. You can see it better on that side, running down here, like a pale green thread that runs through it, which is quite nice. And obviously the big difference is this big orange stripe down the side, which I didn't think I would like, but actually is quite nice on. And this one has a sort of a fainter orange stripe running down the side, and a very nice feature in the sole here. If you can see, it's like a standard Boost sole, but there's like this orange piece running through here, and they've probably just put a piece of sort of material or painted the side of the Boost or something to make it stand out that orange. But you can see from the base that it's actually not part of the Boost, or if it is, it's painted Boost with a sort of stripe running up the back, which again is really nice feature. We can see again on the back, we can see the return of the tab on these True Forms, and the tab obviously was missing off these Belugas. I've got to say I prefer the non-tab version myself. I just, I'm not a fan either of the very overt pale orange that this tab is here, but also I'm just not a fan. I think it's much cleaner without the tab. The two things you can notice immediately is the stitching's identical, which is really good and bad, I guess, for fakes. The stitching has this sort of, you can see the style that's there. It's like a bottom and then a cross, and it's exactly the same on those Belugas, the same stitching. The laces, a darker pair of laces on the Belugas, and you can see a sort of black or a very dark grey running through it, which is in fitting with the design of the upper, the Flynet upper. And this is a very flat grey, again, a very flat sort of clay grey going on. Now, what's the big difference, apart from this missing orange stripe, is actually this piece down the side. So what you get down the side, and if I do that, you can sort of see what's going on here, is this piece down the side is actually see-through. So it's sort of like a piece of plastic see-through material, which is really nice. And that means that whatever sock you wear, be it a white sock, which I would never wear by the way, or a black sock, which I wear all the time, or a coloured sock, which I'll wear when I do an on-foot of these, will show through this here, which I think is a really nice design. I mean, in general, I think, what Kanye or Kanye's design team, because it may not even be Kanye, are doing with these is just really nice. I mean, if you look at this to this, you basically see the exact same sneaker. They're using the same sole, the same materials, the same whatnot, but they move the design on really nicely. And so from this, which is like a nice out there style, to this, which is, I think it's a much softer, wearable style on a day-to-day basis, is really nice. And apart from that, the other big difference, I think the final big difference I'll go through, is the weave itself. Now you can see this Flynet upper, you've got, as we saw, the see-through piece there, but the weave is very different. This is a much tighter weave, much more focused pattern that's going on, and pattern running through there with the orange running through it. very, very specific. This weave has got a lot more detail in it. You can see a sort of a cross hatching here, a square pattern here, some vertical lines there. There's a lot going on, which I think to some extent might make it harder for the fakers, because, you know, to fake this upper, probably not too difficult really, because it's a very similar, you know, apart from the pattern itself, the weave is very similar. You know, this has got lots and lots of different weaves, so it's almost like a counterfeit in a pound note or a £5 note. It's like counterfeiting, anti-counterfeiting elements, and you can see for the fakers to have to knit this upper is going to be much more difficult than is on the previous ones. I'm sure they'll manage it, but I think this is much more difficult. You've got a lot more pattern, a lot more form. And that's really it. I think, you know, they're Yeezys. I mean, ultimately the design style is very, very similar. This is very out there. I've worn it traveling. I've worn it in Dubai a few times and it goes down really well. But I find it a little bit over with the Supply 350 on the side and the big orange stripe. Personally, I would have preferred it without the orange stripe, especially given the fact that I'm an old chap. These ones, though, I think you can get away with these. You know, I don't like this piece here. I think it could have done without it. But this is very subtle, a nice orange piece there, like a pale orange. This see-through piece is a really nice feature, and the upper is just a really nicely formed piece of you know, piece of fly knit. So I'm really happy with these. I was going to flip them. I think that I bought them for, I don't remember what it is now, $169 or something. I think I could probably flip them at the minute on eBay for somewhere between $350 and $400. But when I tried them on, I decided against it. I think I'm going to keep these. So I now am a 2 Yeezy household. And that's it. I'm going to show them on foot. Quick sizing conversation. So they're the same size as these. So whatever size you bought these in, these are the same. Now, I'm a Adidas 11. I'm a Nike 10.5. I wear an 11 in these. They're snug, but not overly snug. These feel exactly the same. I see a lot of people talking about going up a half size. Personally, I don't need to myself. I think it depends on how narrow your foot is at the front. These are quite a narrow fitting. I've got a fairly average foot. It's neither narrow nor wide. So I think at the front piece, it's going to depend on how your foot is. If you've got a really wide foot, you may need to go half a size up. If you've got a standard foot, just go with your standard Adidas size. And that's it. So that's the new Yeezy True Form. These are the European release. So these they did make their way to the US, but these were specifically for Europe. As you know, there were 3 of these that came out. This was the European version. I do not remember at all what the Asia and the USA versions were. The same thing, slightly different colours. But I do like these, and a lot of people say these are the nicest of the 3 releases. So let's have a quick look on foot. Any comments, as always, leave them below. You can't find me on Instagram because I gave it up because it's Tosh. So you'll not find me there, but leave comments below. I'm happy to chit chat. For the people that chit chat with me, welcome, and I like to sort of give some sort of advice. For those that don't like these long videos, it's fine. There's a stop button. Just stop it, move on. You don't need to leave a comment. I don't need to know that you don't like the fact that the video is long. I'm not really bothered, to be honest. And for the dude that said I should have more followers, my very last comment, I agree with you, but I neither care about follow accounts nor do I post frequently enough to really get a bigger follow account. I'm just happy to maybe give some advice. Last thing, which I was going to say about the boxes, this is the easiest piece. Box for the old ones, box for the new ones. They are identical, exactly the same. Zero difference to the boxes. So that's that out of the way. Now let's have a look at them on foot.